She's been talking it up on Twitter and national TV. Senator Claire McCaskill from Missouri recently lost 50 pounds.
I want to be active and fit for as long as I possibly can. Secondly, Karl Rove started going up on TV with ads against me, and it's a year and a half away. And I realized, you know, I'm in the fight of my life here.
Yeah.
I better get some energy. I better get some focus because they're coming after me big time.
This was Senator McCaskill on MSNBC's Morning Joe last week. She lost that weight the old-fashioned way through diet and exercise. She's changed the way she eats. She walks the treadmill 5 days a week, but she did not do it alone. Joining us in the newsroom for First at 4 is weight loss coach who helped Claire lose that weight. Charles D'Angelo is a St. Louisan. He's my guest today. You've been helping people lose weight for years, and I love your story, Charles. You are a CBC grad, so you went to, high school at CBC,
Sure.
St. Louis U grad.
Absolutely.
And your first book is coming out in January, Think and Grow Thin. It has an endorsement by Bill Clinton. You have come so far professionally, but really it's your life story that is so compelling because you, at one time, were a morbidly obese teenager. Tell me about that.
At just 17 years of age, I was 360 pounds. The simple things that many people take for granted, going up a flight of stairs, having the confidence to approach other people, to try to maintain a social life were impossibilities to me. So what really is at the crux of my message is that I get it. I've been there. And when people think that there's no hope out or there's no way out and there's no hope for them, I am living proof, and the thousands, the 2001 people that I've coached, me being the one, are certainly evidence that that's not true, that they can find their way out.
We have a before and after of you, which is always, we have been friends for years,
yes,
and this
absolutely.
has always really struck me because you had a family pattern of obesity, and yet somehow you broke through it on your own, which I think gives you, as you mentioned, a perspective that others don't have. But you also endured bullying and some of the other things that come along with being different from what the ideal picture of a person is.
Listen, all of our families struggle with issues. Mine struggle with addiction in different facets. My mother's side of the family struggle with alcoholism. My father's side struggle with overeating and obesity and the comorbidities associated with those habits. We all have our stories, and mine's as sad as the next person's. I think what's important is using that not as a crutch to stay the same, but rather as a resource to motivate yourself out of that. And my whole book, what's been missing in every other program is there's no lack of information on what's good to eat or what's healthy to eat, I should say. There's no lack of exercise DVDs that claim to change your life in 90 days. But something's been missing, and what's been missing, I believe, is the mindset.
Right, and you make the point you're not a personal trainer, you're a weight loss coach, and you have a really unique look at how to do this. So you're right. Everybody knows about
it's all about learning how to disconnect from food and learn how to reconnect. So when I work with a person with a very hectic schedule, I help them find the intrinsic motivation, that is the internal motivation. Why do they need to change? Why are they ready to make this not something that they think they ought to do, but rather something they're so compelled by that they're willing to forego social events or be at a social event and choose the right things over what their friends are doing. That they're willing to wake up at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning or whatever their schedule dictates so that they can make this program work for them. And really, any system that you get really convicted about can work, but you need to find such a way that you learn how to think about the healthy eating and think about the exercise in a way that's maintainable long after you reach your goal.
And it has to be enjoyable.
It is something that you have to learn how to associate pleasure to. After you've disconnected the emotion from the food, you need to learn how to reconnect. So I work with folks not only in attaining their goals, like the person you mentioned earlier, but also in learning how to integrate variety and flexibility in their life.
Tell me about Claire, because here we have a before and after picture of her. She's been very upfront about how much you helped her achieve this 50-pound weight loss. We have a picture of a tweet. There it is. My new best friend forever, Team Charles. I mean, well, that's testament to all the people you've helped, especially when you hear it from people like Claire McCaskill, Bill Clinton. You have clients. Tell me about your clients.
Well, I never talk about clients in particular because I keep confidentiality. Now, when a person publicly acknowledges me, such as Senator McCaskill does, I will say I've worked with her. Her case is no different than another. In other words, when a person comes to see me, the title leaves at the door. I'm working with a person. I disregard whatever they are outside of my office. I'm working with a person that's ready to make a significant change in their life. President Clinton really did a wonderful service to me, a really noble thing, in that he really is adamant about confronting and combating childhood obesity. And he really feels strongly about that. He knows my story. He was willing to lend me his name on the front cover of my book because he understands the implication of our youth's habits. It's said that right now the youth may be the first generation that do not live a longer life than their parents. And that says a lot about what we're instilling in our children. So by helping the folks that come to see me, a lot of them adults, but I work with teenagers, children, all those folks, I really feel so much joy knowing that the work I do with them will not only change their lives, but will change all those around them.
Well, you're an amazing person, and I'm just really inspired by your life story and all the work you've done. Think and Grow Thin will be in bookstores and available online in December, the official unveiling in January.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much,
And
Kay.
keep up all the good work. We're going to have a link to how to reach Charles if you visit us on our website, ksdk.com.
Thank you so much.
Again so much
My
for coming
pleasure.
in.